Hi guys, Ape here of the Pocketbot Collective, and today we're gonna have a look at MagicSquare's version of Artfire. And here he is in his fancy fire engine mode, which is really cool looking, in my opinion. Let me just slide down the ladder system. There we go. And there you go. Let's first have a look what he comes with. Obviously, he comes in a box. Standard MagicSquare one. They've called him Fevernova. There's some images on the back, on the front, on the sides. But there you go. Also comes with a nice little hard plastic card. Nicely done. Comes with a sticker sheet, which I've already used, and you've got two backup ones because they're small stickers, so in case you mess up or something rubs off eventually, then you have some spare ones. Also has a weapon, but it's stored in fire engine mode right here in that little hole. It's a nice weapon and even has a little bit of silver paint on there. There you go. That's all that you get with him, and of course a set of instructions. Articulation in truck mode, you just saw that the ladder articulates, the wheels roll. If you start untabbing things, you might even be able to rotate it a bit, but that's not what you're supposed to do. Has a bit of visible hand syndrome, and it's a bit gappy at the back of the cab, but you don't really notice that. As you can see, I applied the stickers already, gave him an Autobot symbol. Stickers are also shown at the bottom and the back, which gives him just that little bit extra. Now, if you don't know who Artfire really is, I have two suggestions for you. Go to Chris McFeely's channel and check the basics on Stepper or Ricochet, his partner in crime, so to say, because he's a Japanese exclusive target master from Generation 1. And if you want to know more about that, go to Toys R Russ's channel and check out the G1 versions of him and his partner, so to say. Speaking of his partner, let's do a few comparisons. Here is his partner in crime, Stepper. This is the New Age version, which I shall review separately. And just for truck comparison, we'll also bring in the recent Mechanic Studios Octane. There you go. For size comparison in vehicle mode. Now, to get him transformed, it's all quite easy and pretty straightforward, I would say. What we do, we first take this ladder out of the way. We'll untab the arms, who are tabbed in just there. Also on the other side. And then this back bit is also tabbed in on both sides. So we'll get that lifted up as well. See, there's a few slots, but it's the inner ones here. That's what the top tabs into. Then we'll swing out his arms. And now we need to release the cab. There's a little tab between this gray bit and that white block on the inside of the cab, so slightly pull that forward. There we go. That means we can hinge it round. You can then push in the roof section. Sorry, I've pushed it a little bit too far. It needs to be up because we need to use this tab. Then we swing in these bits. And then we pretty much fold up the ladder section. So what we do, there's a couple of hinges there. What you pretty much want is all these long bits lined up, and then the short bit will line up with that short bit and eventually sit inside the back of the cab. There we go. Lift that over, and then at the bottom here is where we'll start tabbing him in. Sorry. I do have to say some joints are fairly stiff and other joints are fairly loose on this figure. It's a bit of a mishmash, but there we go. Everything lined up. There's some slots in the windows, which of course correspond with these tabs. And then they're also hooked around here, around the shoulders. So you just gently bring them forward and then tab them in. And we can position the arms. They are on ball joints with a cut at the biceps, elbow bend, and no articulation on the arms because this is one piece, just painted black hands. Turn his head around. There we go. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And hinge the ladder down pretty much. And then we still need to do something here. Let me just see how are they normally positioned, like that. There we go. Now for the legs, there's a little tab there. So we first untab the feet, and then the legs are just pegged together. Fold down the feet, fold down this little bit, fold down the feet, fold down that bit, then pull the shin guards, I guess they are, down, and there you go. Hips are on the ball joint, cut, knee bend, ankles are on ball joint. So you have a good range of motion there. Let's have a look at the head sculpt. Bit of an angry face with blue eyes that do have some light piping. I don't know if you saw from the back. There you go. But yeah, unless you have a light source directly behind him, it doesn't do that much. Let's clean this up a little bit. There we go. Does have waist rotation. Sorry, out of focus. Come on. There we go. 360, even though you don't need it for transformation. But that all works very well. We can give him his gun, of course. He holds that just fine. And this is where the stickers really shine, because without that he's just red and white and gray, so to say. And this just makes him pop that little bit more. Alright, standard size comparisons. First up, Iron Factory's Runabout. He stands a little bit, Artfire stands a little bit taller than Runabout, which makes sense, because he's a fire engine. Then McFan's Toys pretty much just copied this mold and upscaled it a bit. So there's McFan's Toys Hauler, who stands a bit bigger than the MagicSquare one. And then there's also Puppet Toys. We did a version. It's not the same mold, but of course, most of these companies have done him in this mold or their own mold in a couple of versions: Grapple, Inferno, Hauler, Artfire. It's of course easy repaints of them. And because I don't like to have too many of the same mold in my collection, I've chosen to go with Hauler by MagFans Toys, but then Artfire in the original MagicSquare mold. And the grapple is technically not mine, that's from one of my sons, but he came in handy for size comparison. Put them out of the way as well. And last but not least, because of course, like I said before, he was a Japanese exclusive Target Master in Generation 1. Unfortunately, these guys don't come with Target Masters, but if you have any of the Takara or recent Hasbro Target Masters, they do size quite well with them, just if you want to pose them in your collection, so to say. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Artfire on my end. I really like it. I like that him and Stepper were Japanese exclusive figures. I have the mangas that show them as well, which are really cool to read. There's English versions of them available right now. It wasn't back in the day, but it is right now. So yeah. Good figure, solid figure, well done by MagicSquare, well copied by other companies. So yeah, definitely a recommend if you have any attachment to this character and the other one, Stepper. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ape out.